Because we have one flanking player from the T side. Now they pincered the site from two sides, but one of the other Ts just falls way too fast. Now it's just a 1v1. He rushes sandbags, but he pays for it. Zephyrmoss catches him out. Just on Blake.
Kip with the Wandeek from Connector.
Progress, good things go slow. I'm no saint. I fall and you pick me up again. Got your habits, got them too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Sinking in, and I guess I kinda like that. For the first time, you really got my back. Got your habits, got them too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Lose them with you. Lose them with you. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you.
And we are live with the Joes versus the Trash Pandas in this best out of 3 series. Both of these teams with the upside down and left and right names, and we have one player missing from the T side still as he's still loading in, but the match is set to pause after this first round, so they're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. And Bozo leaning back in the spawn, buying a gun, making sure they has a little bit of a chance. Now Prism's back in the game, and we got a game here, but Ostrich and Sprite just rushing the spawn. No chill on both of them. They're just gunning them down. Now Bozo in a 1v2 right off the bat. The CTs spent no time wasted, and all that P250 shots just missing. He shot way too many shots for all of them to be missing, but the Joes winning the first pistol round. That P250 could have done so much work against both of those CTs, but nevertheless, now we have a timeout. We could talk about Vertigo. Vertigo is one of the more safe maps in Wingman, but in 5v5s it is quite the opposite. of safe, and the Joes took advantage of the nice ramp that they get, or the nice rushing position that they get early on into the game, and the Trash Pandas had to fight their way to get to this position as well as the Joes, and we're seeing some more confident buys from both sides. I'd like to stress the importance of buying armor, as we've seen Senator Sun, the ever so prolific case of them losing the game, partially because they didn't buy any armor and partially because they didn't know the maps that they were selecting in the first place. And we have the safer maps. Both of these teams have played rather safe maps for the entire tournament, even in the regular season and now the playoffs, as nobody wants to pick Lake or Rialto, but this map still has a lot of verticality to it, as you can see up the stairs there. If the CTs rush, the Ts have to aim all the way up. We see some people's resolutions. If you have 4x3, you can't see too much to the sides, and you can't see too much up and down. So we've seen a lot of people die from that, where they just cannot see the people. They're not blind or anything, it's just not their fault, because they want as much FPS as they can manage, and Bozo trying to get as much leverage as he can, but Ostrich getting the more leverage with that scout. Takes him out. He had no armor, so it's just a one-shot kill, and the last man, Prism, getting shot back. Yeah, Scout gets him for 70% of his HP, and he gets taken out with the P250 afterwards, with his own P250.
Now Bozo and Prism can actually buy some real guns this time around. They don't have to
Scour around for the Glocks. They got 2 AKs rolling here with a Molotov and a Glock on their side, and they're going to be rushing the upper sandbag side, which is one of the more risky locations, because if they have a tunnel vision type of weapon, which they have an MP9 here, so that CT rushes, he just gets drilled by both of those AKs, expecting the early rush. Now it's just Ostrich in a 1v2. He's holding it with the Scout, the T's boosting on top of the box. You won't be able to see. Doesn't even see him around the corner, but he still gets him for 90% of his HP. Throws the nade, it takes out one of the T's. No, it doesn't! The nade went too far, and it missed both of the T's as they're rushing out onto the site. Now Ostrich is hidden behind this box, and the P250 is so narrow and so short that it hides in both of those T's, rushing right to the P250. And Ostrich winning that third round for the Joes against Trash Pandas. It's looking good for the Joes. They've got all of the economics that they want. They got all the guns that they want, picking up that AK after both of those T's just bum rushed it. Now they're going to be on a budget round. Mac 10, 2 Mac 10s with a Molotov and 2 full sets of armor. They're going to go for the sandbags rush once again, unless they decide to change it up. Throwing a Molotov when the CTs has to back away, or else he just gets flamed, but the Molotov missed. It went a little bit too shallow, and now both of the CTs know that they're probably going to be coming from this location. Gets visual, throws a flash, and Bozo full flash. Not peeking, though, because he wants to peek with his teammate, but his teammate isn't peeking with him, and Prism gets gunned down by Sprite. Both of them just standing out in the open. And Ostrich and Sprite shutting down both of the Trash Panda players, and this is starting to become a tiny bit of a blowout. They just can't get any attack. But they haven't tried a ramp push yet, and the one ramp push that they tried, they got gunned down by the Scout at the top of the ramp, so they might try it around this time. Yeah, they're going straight for the ramp side, and there's not a scoped weapon on the top side this time, and Ostrich is indirectly holding it from the secret position to the right. Or he's just going to go try for that bad manners Zeus kill, but I don't think any of the T's are actually walking in a place where they can get Zeused. Oh, Prism. He went past the place where he'd have to go for that, and now Ostrich is stuck looking like an idiot with that Zeus out. He switched over to his AK because he knows neither of them are actually dedicating to the push yet, but they're throwing the nades. Nobody sandbags, but they cannot be too confident about that, so they throw the molly, and now trying to throw some more directed nades, some more smokes, and Sprite tries to flash out his entry, knocks down Bozo for 3% of his HP, and now takes him out. Prism, now it's just a 1v2, but Ostrich has all the HP and all the positioning that he wants, and Prism is none the wiser, knows no one. Knows none of the positioning, and Ostrich takes him out from the left side, and the Joes winning the 5th round in a row against Trash Pandas.
We have 6 kills and 4 kills for both of the CTs respectively, and Bozo and his teammate only have 1 kill on their side. If they have had no luck attacking either of these positions, and they're going to try it again. Looks like they're going ramp side this time around, though. They might even fake it, as they've almost run out of every single option, although none of the CTs are actually holding ramp side, so they might have a chance here. Prism checking every corner he can as fast as he can, because he's none of them, but some of the flashes blinded them, and so the rush is a little bit slowed down. Ostrich hiding in the triple box area, flames off the secret side. Bozo peeking at ramp side, the AK drills through him. No hit points against Ostrich, but he gets some hit points with Prism peeking the left side. AK spray controlled. Now it's just Ostrich and Prism almost equal HP, and he tries to hop up in the head glitch position. Now Ostrich stuck in sandbags. He's gonna have to throw some nades to get him out of this one.
Jumps on top. He wasn't expecting it. And the verticality, he's on the high ground, and he just jumped onto the higher ground on top of the sandbags and took both of the T's by surprise. Now Prism and Bozo are in another desperate situation. Desperate situation after desperate situation. They bought a Deagle, and his teammate just standing there not knowing what to buy. He buys a UMP. Quick buy, safe buy, Sprite with the tunnel vision op. As soon as one of these T's peeks, takes him out. Prism's the first one to go. Is Bozo going to follow through? He needs to get that bomb. Needs to peek it fast. He's trying to pick up his teammate's gun. He sees the...
Sprite sees the gun drop to the left side of him. Can't get the flick down, and now he just... has the bomb control, but now he's even more pinned down as both of the CTs have rotated over to him. He needs to move at some point. Gets the Eagle in his hands. One deke, but a good trade by Ostrich. And the Joes with 7 rounds against Trash Pandas. We're almost nearing match point and the half at the same time. Let's hope if Bozo and Prism can get something done here. He has an AK, Molotov smoke, and a flashbang, but his teammate's not so lucky as he couldn't get any more utility. Maybe even a decoy would have sufficed, as Sprite is still holding the same position, just a little bit offset over to the left. Now Ostrich pop flashing over ramp. They just saw it, or at least one of them just saw it before it jumped into their view, and he smokes off Secret. Doesn't want them rushing him from 2 sides, and now both the Ts sort of being a little bit more hesitant about their rush, and now both of the CTs have had time to rotate over. These Ts are just not rushing the site as fast as they could. They're getting deterred by all of these flashbangs that the CTs are throwing in, and Sprite is able to set up his op right before they come in, and Bozo can be the second one to run into Sprite's op here, but the op misses, and the AK spray misses as well, and he just gets him as the AK spray runs out. That's a quick 1v2. He only has 12 HP against Ostrich. He's repositioning over to the site, knowing that he's going to be there, but Trash Pandas and Bozo with that quick headshot. We're 7-1 at the half, and Trash Pandas going to have to climb back a Wells way to get even.
Sunshine every day. Pick up any day.
He sees in black or white, never felt the warmth of a cold night. Captive that she left behind, shackled to a love lost. What we were will soon be gone and forgotten when our days are still untold. We can't keep holding on to what our foes have begun when our faith is running.
And we are at the second half of the first map, and Trash Pandas, although they made it past the 8-0 at the end of the last half, they're still trailing by 7-1 at the second half of this half, and they're doing a rather safe buy, but no armor on either of these people. Bozo and Prism going for the more utility-based and diffuse kit-based route. They're just running out into the Glocks. They run out just in time, but Ostrich can just drill them both with the Glock. They're just throwing the smokes, but the T's rush way too fast for what they were preparing for, and Prism and Bozo looking like they're just collapsing instantly, but Prism gets a quick headshot. Might have a chance here against this last T. Sprite trying to aim duel him, knowing that he's at low HP. Trying to throw the flashbang, deterring Sprite from rushing full out with the USP, aiming in the wrong position, and the Joes winning the match point round. Now we're just 1 round away from the Joes losing, or rather winning, this map against Trash Pandas, and they just do not have the timing down on Trash Pandas. They don't know how how fast either of the teams can actually rush onto the site. We have a Nova and an AK. They're going full assault class here. They're going to be pushing right up against the wall, hopefully. And both the CTs not even dedicating to Sandbag's side. They might even try to rush here, as they both have MP9s and Sprite against the wall. We might be hearing them rush, but they're not rushing all the way. They're just holding really close. Now I bet they know both of these Ts are going the other way. They're going Sandbags, and they're pushing hard. This Nova is going to be up close and personal against both of them, but they both have armor, yet Bozo has no head armor, so if the Nova hits him right here, which it might, he's aiming head level, he's hugging against the wall, but the Nova doesn't even have a chance to shoot. Now Sprite in a 1v2, but he does have the AK advantage, and he can just one-tap them if they're in the right position. Dinks him with the MP9. Bozo just deking behind these boxes, and the AK can't find him, and his teammates flanking all the while, focusing on the wrong person. He shoots him from the right side. Prism gets the kill with the MP9. Trash Pandas just recovering and not losing just yet, but the Joes still have the partial economy to buy something on their side, UMP, and probably a MAC-10 from Ostrich. That is typically the safe buy. Yep, MAC-10 coming straight from Ostrich into Sprite. Both of them will have to rush pretty fast. He's offering to go into the porta potties here, trying for a stealth route in both these CTs. If that's the case, they're going to be waiting for quite a while, but his teammate is not obliging to this porta potty strat, and he dies for it as Ostrich is the last one remaining with the MAC-10. He's going to be peeking ramp as slowly as he can, making sure that none of these CTs have a visual on him, and the smoke is incomplete. You can see him from the right side if he peeks it in the right way. Prism throwing the Molotov, making sure to deter Ostrich, but he pushes right past it. That was just in 1v1. Ostrich could drill through him here, and he does! Woo! And the Joes winning that first map of the best of 3. We will see you on the next map. Stay tuned for some more amazing Counter-Strike action. Those long-range guns, they might be a fan of that. Whoa! That was a good headshot. Nathaniel just catching him. Oh. He might go for this ninja defuse. Oh, he has the flash. But the T's aren't peeking into the flash, so they can just spray right through. That's a 10-second defuse. He throws that second flash. He almost has no chance. These AKs are just missing him. He's gonna get the ninja defuse.
Second map of the Joes versus Trash Pandas, and throughout this tournament and throughout these playoffs, rather, we've seen every single team, for the most part, get to that third map, but Inferno seems to be the checkmate map. None of these teams do well on Inferno if they've lost the first map, and Sprite peeking on the far side of the Molotov aggressively with that Glock, not taking any chances. Now Ostrich teaming up with him, and Bozo just aggressively peeking Library against both of these Glocks, revealing himself way too much, and Prism stuck in pit in both these Ts. Knowing where most of these CTs play, they know exactly where he's going to be. Sprite peeking from the top side of Graveyard, gets him, and gets that trade after the USB has to reload, and those 20 bullets doing him favors, and the Joes win the first round. It's not off to a good start for both the Trash Pandas players, but they still have the economy to buy something. 2 MP9s with partial armor, no armor on Bozo, but full armor on Prism, so he has a little bit more of a chance to push up and get more up close and personal. But buying a sawed-off on the T side, and that's about as up close and personal as you can get, catches the MP9 as it's reloading. Ostrich smoking off the site, making sure that Bozo just can't spray through him. But if he sprayed just a little bit more, he would have been able to get him. Gets the shoulder as he's running away. Any of these shots could have got him. He flashes out. Ostrich, still with the gun disadvantage, has to take out this MP9 player with a sawed-off, and he's rushing the corner. Bozo just has to get this first shot, and he does, but that sawed-off almost drilled through him with no armor. But Trash Pandas, with a 10-second defuse, it won't really matter. They still take him out, and I doubt he's going to pick up that sawed-off on the other side. It's a strange gun to buy on an anti-eco. As you know, that most of these teams buy as soon as they lose the pistol round, as they have to get 1 kill at least. Can't even chuck the gun out of the map. Just gives it to his teammate. Both of these Ts have well more than they need in terms of money to buy these guns. 2 AKs and partial utility against both of these like disjointed buys. On the CT side, Trash Panda's not really sure what they're doing. One's Arch and one's sort of lane side on Balcony. It's a safe play. Throws a smoke over to Arch side to help his teammate, but both these Ts going to lane side, and Ostrich going to be the first one to pay for it. The MP9 dealing direct and even damage between the both of them, and Ostrich trying to repeat the same location, but Prism's trying to peek a different one. It's not going to work. Now it's just a 1v1. Bozo versus Ostrich, and Ostrich catches him reloading behind the box. It's not the first time that he's done that. He likes to reload in rather inconvenient situations. That MP5 doesn't serve well, as no matter how many bullets you spray with that MP5, it just doesn't get the job done sometimes. And they have to resort to a pistol buy and a light SMG buy. They just cannot afford those rifles, as when they force up, they just drain all of their economy. Bozo tries to rush down the right-hand side, and he has the better gun here, so he's leaving his teammate in the dust. Prism's going to have to pick his targets wisely, and both of these Ts pushing opposite to him. As long as he doesn't reveal himself while they round the corner, he gets out just in time. He's playing the bomb on the right side of that box, and he picks up the defuse kit from his teammate, so he's able to clutch this out if he wants to, or he's able to just save it. Doesn't look like he's saving it. Gets Sprite, none the wiser. Takes him out, no damage dealt to him. Now it's just a fair and even 1v1. But he's in Graveyard, so he can head glitch. He knocks him down to a lot of his HP, though. Switches over to the AK. He almost gets that spray while he's full flashed, almost aims for the head, and Prism gets him. And Trash Panda's evening out the score, gets a defuse kit as well, so it would have been less of a problem. We're equalized. The Joes giving up too many open shots for their enemies to even get. They're holding the angles in the post plant, but the post plant angles just aren't working out because that MP9 was able to just shred through him. He didn't even expect him to come from that angle. And the double MAC-10 buy, the shredding SMGs, they're good against unexpecting opponents, but if you're trying to aim duel with them, they're not too pretty. Flashing over the lane side once again, forces the CT to fall back into pit, which is going to be rather difficult for him if they manage to get down. But one's going apartments, and both of them are actually holding back, waiting for one of these CTs to, again, become impatient. That's the game that they want to play. That's the game that most of these teams want to play. Ostrich biding his time, waiting for one of these CTs to maybe jump up, but he's not jumping up anytime soon, and Sprite's going to have to push lane side as well as Ostrich, and if they double team it right, he's throwing that flashbang off of the silo, barely flashes Prism, so now he knows that one of them's coming from there. He drops down into pit, but the MAC-10 just beating out that AK. The spray wasn't good enough. Bozo left in Library, then mollied him off, so now he's just isolated there. One of the T's actually rushing up close. Let's see if he has the reaction times to actually deal with it. Not shooting at Ostrich as he's crossing over in his vision. Like that one of them's close, misses the no-scope, and Bozo losing that round. And the Joes picking up an op as well as an AK that they collected from pit. The double MAC-10 buy working out for them. It didn't even seem like they had to plant the bomb there. They could have just double teamed up on that op. Made it seem like they were planting default and just flank him from both locations, but you never want to take a chance with Trash Pandas as they can pull out some rather spectacular plays, but the headshot against one of these Ts rushing in hut side, he's not going to take out the op player, and neither of the CTs are actually going to get any of the kills that they wanted to. The CZ not as overpowered as it used to be. Can't use it as a rifle anymore, but he's using these MP9 buys. They're not saving up for any of these rifles as they don't have any time. They're just 2 rounds away from the half. Prism and Bozo having to take up aggressive position after aggressive position, and his teammate gets killed at the beginning of the round once again. Both of these Ts now rushing down arch side. They have the entire site to themselves. Prism has to do another site retake, but he had the same gun last time, and he had the same luck last time. He's seen the smoke dissipate, and they're probably not going to be expecting him to come from there. Ostrich landing near the back of site, but not quite, and Sprite catches him, trying to flank around that side of the map as he took way too long. The Joes with the 5th round against Trash Pandas, and they're pretty confused by the strats, but I mean, they're just running all over them on this half. They've won 3 rounds in a row against Trash Pandas, and they keep force buying round after round. They're not saving any money for rifles or ops, and even when they do, they just get stolen from them. And Ostrich now pushed up with a nade in his hands. The MP9 could have taken him out, but he just can't kill him. Down to 57% of his HP, and Bozo aim dueling him just gets him. And Prism held off, not peeking with this last T, but Sprite desperately needs him to. Now he just has to retake with this op against rather close range weapons. He's going to have to become up close and personal. Sprite holding the corner, shooting, maybe baiting one of them out so they can get out of the positions that they're in.
Flashing out balcony with the deagle. He doesn't even care. He's just running out. No extra nades needed. Prism on the site reveals his location in pits. Now they both know where he is, but Bozo, that might have been a little bit of a bait. He has too little HP to aim duel him, and Prism focuses attention on everybody, but both the CTs are just swarming him.
And the Joes sort of maybe equalizing it in the score near the end there, but they're still trailing by 3. It's 5-3. We'll see you after the second half of this Inferno game. The Joes close to winning.
Sunshine every day. Pick up any day.
Second half of Inferno fighting for their lives, and Trash Panda with the deficit. Again, time after time I say it, but they've got the utility to actually set up something, as pistol round is deadly for this. They're setting up smokes finally. We love to see it, seeing some strats coming in, because both these USPs could just shred through them. Yet they're not using them as they're rushing the site, and the USP takes out the first one. Prism, no match against that USP, but he might be a match if he closes the distance. 10 HP, just getting dueled from both of them. The Joes with the 6th round against Trash Pandas. It's not looking good at all, but they can still buy those Mac 10s, and they can still do that damage rush that all these teams do, and yet they're buying a deagle. They're going for the trick shot route this time around. Both of them with a deagle. And one Negev coming from Ostrich. We got some unorthodox buys on all sides, not the team. It's just Ostrich has one unorthodox man, and the Deagle picking its heads as it's rounding the corner, but he only sees a shoulder. Shooting. There's nothing going through, and Prism finally shoots his shoulder enough. Now it's just a 1v2, and Ostrich with the most unfortunate gun for this 1v2, and Negev gonna have to shred through both of them as they round the corner, but doesn't seem like they have any preparations for it, and then Negev's gonna do some damage. Sees one, it turns into a laser, one's going down. Prism knows that he doesn't want to peek that, trying to drain his ammo, but he's smarter than that. He's gonna reload while he's in cover, and Prism can't even hear him reload, so by the time he clears that corner, he's just gonna get shredded himself. Let's see Prism's game strat here. He wants to Wandig him as soon as he reveals himself. He's still on the left side, though. He switches over to the Negev. It was a bait. He wanted them to go out into the open. The Joes winning the 7th round against Trash Pandas, just 2 rounds away from winning this best out of 3, and he claims that the game is broke, but that deal requires expert accuracy. You can't even move your legs 1 inch to the left without that thing going up in the air everywhere. Both of these Ts, once again, late buys and late to the site. We've seen it again and again. They don't rush these sites fast enough, and both of these CTs have enough time to set up whatever the hell they want. They got a Negev library, they got a Deagle on top of a box. They are not going to be expecting this as they're rounding the corner. Yep, he's not expecting it at all, and Negev on top of the box gets him. That's just a 1v2, but he only has a Deagle to contend with this Galil. Look through the smoke! The Wandig through the smoke! I don't even know if that was a one-way. I doubt it. He just sprayed and got him, and Joe's with the 8th round. That was an insane shot from Sprite. I don't think any of them were expecting that type of RNG, and that didn't benefit Trash Pandas in the least.
And Bozo not buying his story, but Ostrich buying that op, and he's peeking it aggressively, and Sprite not taking any chances, not letting Prism pick up that AK. But he gets a headshot as he rounds the corner. Trash Pandas just clutching out that. Probably pissed from that Wandig, I would be too. And they're just not willing to die. The only thing that they can do here is tie and hope for an overtime, but they get that op. And they have enough to buy an AK with just a body. Oh, no, he has full armor anyways. In the first place, and both these CTs have to go for a desperation strat. Throws a smoke in lane side, classic strat, except they're expecting him to go on top of the box if he does that. And Sprite, Deagle plays, nice triple shot against his shoulders. Bozo holding the angle, and he gets 2 Wandigs on them, and the Joes winning this best of 3 against Trash Pandas. And a rather action-packed, but rather short best of 3 as well. We got 2 common maps, and as I said before, Inferno is the map where all of these dreams die. If you lose the previous map, chances are you're going to lose Inferno. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow around the same time, or even later on in the week. I am here.
3, 2, 1, drop it. Are you ready for this? Pass that back to the gang of boys. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor.